Hi, everybody. Welcome to day two of How to Make Money with Email. So I hope that you had a great time writing your quick start guides. Looks like some of you did. And for those of you who have not shared it with me, I'm going to give you a chance. There's still a chance. Before we get into that, I had a couple of questions that I want to address. Um, Andrea, who is on the road somewhere, but asked me these questions here. I'm going to uh, do this without my reading glasses. Don't get old, people. It's not pretty. Um, Anytime anyone signs up for PrintPass or signs up for my newsletter, they automatically get my three-part welcome series. That's good. That's normal. If I do a quick start guide and people sign up, I need to figure out how to keep those people from getting my welcome series automatically, right? That's correct. I mean, you can make a decision on whether you want those people to get that right away, but I think the core of your question, Andrea, is that in Mediavine, your automation has them come in and boom, it sends them that welcome series, and so you would have the quick start guide and the welcome series hitting them at the same time. Is that, I don't know if that's correct or not. Um, Most email platforms, you just have to kind of dig in and figure out how they do it. They have the ability for automations um, uh, to go in an order. All right. So in the case of Kit, for example, I can have somebody come into a quick start guide through a form that adds them to a sequence or an automation. When they complete that sequence, then something else can take place. Um, and in your situation, what you might want to do is figure out how do I get people to come in to the quick start guide and then be triggered to be added to a welcome sequence after that, if you still want them to receive that. Off the
Right.
top of my head, I don't know how MailerLite does that, but I'm sure it's possible.
Yeah, and I suppose if somebody gets the quick start guide and there's a link to a recipe and they're like, "Oh, I want to print this recipe." So then they do the print pass and then they're automatically gonna I mean, and I guess that's just inevitable. I can't
Yeah,
control every
and I wouldn't worry about that too much. That happens all the time. Um, if you try to attack every possible way that people join different forms and things, you're building for these really isolated edge cases that frankly aren't worth your time. And most of the time, the people are just fine because they knew what they're doing. Yeah, I signed up for your newsletter. Great. I'm getting those emails. Oh, I signed up for this print pass thing. Okay, I'm going to get that too. I think what you're trying to avoid is any sort of duplication of a bunch of emails. And in that situation, yeah, I guess they would be getting the quick start guide at the same time they might be getting the welcome series simultaneously. I would just live with that personally um,
Yeah.
because it's probably more hassle than it's worth to try to figure out how that edge case scenario gets avoided.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question. Um, so as you did this work, by the way, I've got in front of me, I've got three um, quick start guides that I've not opened yet. Boy, it's like Christmas. I can't wait. That I'll be able to review. What we're going to do today is I'm happy to review anybody who wants to share what they wrote, however much or little it was. I'm happy to review it and share my 2 cents on how you might improve it, just Matt Mullen style. Before I get into that too much, I apologize up front. Your voice has to be your voice, right? You're going to get my biases, my crazy idiosyncrasies. So it may not be your voice, it may not be your style, and that's totally okay. What I'm going to try to share in in conveying how I do it is the reasons why I might write a certain way or write less. And the reasons typically are, well, they are based off of years and years of experience. However, marketing is more art than it is science. All right. So, and this goes for everything I'm sharing with you over this mastermind. This is a cookie cutter situation, and you are not a cookie. And your situation is not going to be exactly like mine or the general populace. Just take the principles that I'm trying to share. I think we get that, right? So what we're going to do today is let me just walk you through real quick. Um, if you haven't done so yet, last chance. I think I saw a few people went and got it, but if you haven't done it, I'm not going to mention it again. So go get your free access to email on autopilot. Here's the coupon code. It has been proven to work on laboratory grown grains, and some individuals on this call have actually taken advantage of it. So go get it if you haven't. Um, Before I get into the quick start guide review, let me tell you where we're going with the lamest graphic that you'll ever see. Okay, so um, this piece of artwork, what you did yesterday is you kind of suspended all of your doubts for a moment and said, okay, we'll follow Matt for just a minute and we'll see what he's talking about here. And so I appreciate that. What are we trying to build in cookie cutter fashion? Most of my clients struggle when we get going. What they're really missing out on is a system. It's not desire, it's not skill set, it's usually just a system. And so what I am inviting you to think about here is perhaps a system for you. We're going to have people come into our list through a quick start guide. We're going to maybe we do something site-wide. Maybe we put a quick start guide, create a quick start guide specific for categories or specific posts. Maybe we do bonus content like a Disney cruise packing list. Or perhaps we do save this article or save this recipe or even gated print. They're getting onto the list. Then what? Well, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the Forever series, which is basically an evergreen sequence. And I'll walk you through the magic of that. Some of you are enjoying that. Some of you may have thought about doing it. You may have heard that phrase before and not quite understood what it is. My guess is that you're not taking advantage of it regardless of how much you've done it. You're not taking advantage of what you could be doing with this in a really smart way. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. All y'all should be sending emails weekly, seasonal emails weekly. There's almost, I don't know if there's any exceptions on this call. So some of you should be sending daily and everywhere in between. So at bare minimum, you can send 2 emails a week. I mean, perhaps your situation is so different that you can challenge me on that, but I'm guessing that most of you can be sending easily. If you're in the content business, you can be sending 2 emails a week, minimum. Some of you might want to take advantage of RSS and the tools available there. I'll talk about those tomorrow as well. Okay, so we are going to send our new subscribers emails is the whole point here. Yeah, Nicole asked, can we talk about the Save This Recipe form specifically? Should these people be going into a quick start guide even though they don't know it going in? All right, great question. For those that aren't familiar with it, Save This Article or Save This Recipe is it's a form that if you come to, let's just show you one. So here on House of Nash Eats, when you come to this, you want to save this recipe or want to save this article. And then when you fill this out, you get an email back that sends you basically the link back to this page. The idea is that people use their inbox as their to-do list. And so you might be on your phone, you've come across this article or this recipe, you know you want to deal with it later, you send it to yourself. And in so doing, you added to the list. Nicole, what I like to do with this, with my clients, is set up a sequence that's specific to this. Like, let's create a journey related to this situation and not just something else. Now, sometimes that might be an evergreen quick start guide. Quite frequently, it's things like my most saved recipe. Or, hey, Matt, thanks so much for saving such and such a recipe. Because you found something that works for you, you might be interested in these other most saved recipes on my site. Or from there, you could even drop them into the following day. Hey, I hope you enjoyed those recipes that we saved. I want to share with you my personal go-to recipes that I make every single week. So you give yourself an excuse and a chance to extend the experience. So I do like that, but I'm probably not going to automatically take these people and drop them into just whatever quick start guide of the month that I'm doing. This is uh, I didn't invent this feature, but certainly 3 years ago, I started installing it on my clients, and I've seen it pretty much everywhere now. NerdPress has come out with they basically Slickstream, Mediavine, NerdPress kind of put me out of the save this recipe business because it became so popular and everybody started using it. They have Grayson will do it from iMark Interactive. Literally everybody has this because with at least if you're a food creator, this is like the one hack related to email list growth that we have. It also works for other niches. I don't know, Sherry, I don't know if Sherry's not even with us, but if Sherry's using it on hers. Um, but I've used it on plenty of non-food creators as well. It's just save this article. It doesn't work as well, but it still works. Um, but for those of you who are thinking about doing this, you probably want to do, um, you probably want to think about Slickstream if you want to just get going fast and free. Look, I'll be honest now. I tell the Raptive folks this. I don't think Slickstream is the best iteration of this. Personally, I think mine is. But I created custom code and did it, and everybody has kind of done their best to mimic that code or mimic that experience. So Slickstream doesn't do it completely all the way. Um, there's not as much customization as you can do with it. However, it does. The price is right, and it is. They will set it up for you if you need it, so you can hit them up on it. Um, I'm not doing mine anymore, Nicole, except for my people who are my on my with my agency. So they're only the only ones I'm doing it for. Um, it does lead to an increase of not ideal subscribers. They don't open emails or unsubscribe. Well, I've actually had a different experience with that when I do what I just described, which you can do even with Slickstream. You identify the subscribers coming in through this form, create a journey for them, like I was just describing, and you'll have a better experience. In fact, when I track it, and this is another thing, is that you can't track it very well with Slickstream, is with my form, I can track how people are engaging with it. The open rates are crazy good and the click rates are very high. So I know that at least with the first email that they get sent here, they are engaging with that, which makes sense, at least with food. The user intent is, oh, I want to make this later. Let me send it to myself. I click on, or then when that link comes, I come click on that again. So that's at least my experience is what I've seen. And then going beyond that, I think it's up to you to nurture them. Another thing that you can do is with certain versions of whoever's your developer that's created this, is that in this case, this knows I'm on shredded beef chimichangas. The real smarty pantses are the ones that have figured out, okay, how do I send them other recipes related to the recipe that they collected? Now we're getting advanced. It'll go beyond the scope of this call, but you can start to see what happens, what you can do with email when you have the right data. All right, where are we supposed to send our quick start code? Okay, if you would like to, so what I'm going to do today, to Julie's question, is I'm going to review your quick start guides that you shared. I have, let's see, I've got Ashley's, I've got Jen's, I've got Aaron's. If you would like me to review yours too, just drop it in the chat for me here with your Google Doc would be ideal. Make sure that I have, so I'm going to hit this. Whose is this? Jen, I'm going to ask for that you give me access this one too. The little black dress of recipe website. Okay. Give me edit access because I'm going to want to put in some thoughts. Okay. So Julie, if you want me to look at yours, just drop it in the chat here. Oh, you did. All right. What am I going to tell you? I won't, yeah, don't email it to me. Drop the link here in the chat. It'll be easier for me to find it, just for the sake of time. Did I get everybody's question? Can you segment save this recipe people based on what they save? I kind of touched on that. That's a little bit more advanced, Marie. And your developer would have to help you with that. You'd have to have the logic on your side figured out. How do you actually designate who is what, right? You know, is it based off of they come in through this category post, and so we tag them somehow? So yeah, that's where it gets a little bit more complicated, and you're developing something specific for you. But that's the right way to think about it, I think, is save this recipe high converting, or is it better to have topic specific opt-in in that spot? Um, yes, for my food folks, save this recipe is a must do. All right, you're not going to find something that's going to convert better. So that's why I don't actually spend a lot of time on this, because it's almost table stakes at this point. Everybody has it. Everybody, you can get it from anywhere. But one question you did not ask, and you have to make this decision for yourself. Should I have it? Where should the post should I have it? Should I have it up top? Should I have it in the recipe card? The answer is yes. For my clients that will allow me to do it, it usually looks something like this, has it under the first image, and then if they'll allow it, down in the recipe card as well. Because that's, some people do jump to recipe and go straight down there. If you're using somebody like Cultivate to make your, to develop your website for you, or whoever your designer is, they can help you with the placement of those forms. That's not something we'll be able to cover on this call. That's just too technical and too specific to your WordPress install. But the reason that I'm focusing on the quick start guide is because you can, this tactic, while it's not as, you know, we're not going to have, not every industry has this special trick. Okay. And once you have this, then what? Well, the concept behind the quick start guide is, as we talked about yesterday, is how do we do constantly, regularly exchange value, regardless of platform, regardless of YouTube, blog, Instagram, Pinterest, it doesn't matter. This value exchange that we're doing with the quick start guide, or just a lead magnet in general, it works. And if you master this, you have email marketing 50% of the way done because you can rinse and repeat off of that. Okay. What am I going to tell you? For those of you who are going to be my willing guinea pigs here, I haven't read them yet, but I can tell you already what I'm going to tell you. First of all, get to the point. People don't read emails, they skim. I should have a mug or a t-shirt or get rid of this wreath and put a big sign that says that. People don't read, they skim. In fact, my daughter, she's an esthetician. She lives with us her and her husband live with us right now. And I was saying something the other day, and I just started to say, people don't. And then she's like, people don't read, they skim, because she hears me say it all the time. My kids mock me with this, but it's true. So you're going to want to make sure that your word count, get to the point, cut your words in half, say more with less. I'm going to challenge you to do that. Subheaders, with that whole skimming thing, you know, they're just looking at a subject line, they're glancing, they're seeing bold text, they're hitting the keywords, and then they're down to your articles or your recipes that you're sharing. So subheaders guide them. Buttons, people know what to do with buttons. If I'm reading through your email and it's not clear to me what problem you're solving, I'm going to call you out on it, because if it's not clear to me, it's probably not clear to the other person, to the other readers. These emails in the quick start guides are not a time to be cute. All right, we're not messing around. We need the clicks, and we need to get them there. So we say less and drive them to the clicks. Again, you can see the Matt Mullenisms coming out. Subject line formula. We're going to talk about this briefly, but just jot this down. This is my favorite subject line formula of all time. I wish I could give credit to the person who taught this to me. It was at some seminar like literally 20 years ago. Curiosity plus self-interest. There was a time where I had that on a sticky note on my monitor to remind me. Curiosity plus self-interest. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say that your recipe of the day is pineapple coleslaw, and you send an email out that goes out at 7 in the morning and it says pineapple coleslaw. How many people want pineapple coleslaw at 7 in the morning? How many people ever want pineapple coleslaw? None. But if you said the side dish that impressed my mother-in-law, oh, okay. Now I'm thinking about it differently. First of all, that's solving, it's touching on my self-interest. I would love to impress my mother-in-law. And then the curiosity is, well, what the heck is it? Right? That gets me to open. So we're going to talk about those as well. Okay, are you ready? Did I get everybody's? Let's go back to the chat, see if anybody else added theirs in. Herman did. Okay, got it. Anybody else? All right. Let's we're going to need access to this. Who wants to go first? Should we start with whoever big flavor, small budget meal planning is? Who's that? You can unmute. Julie.
Yes, hi. I have a sick kid at home, which is why I've been muted.
Julie knows the drill here. I shouldn't even start with Julie because Julie is an old pro at Quick Start Guides. Yeah, all right, fine, Julie. We will start with you.
Okay.
So tell me, why did you choose big flavor, small budget meal planning?
We had a product we released about 2 weeks ago. That's a $2 meal plan. Every dinner comes out to about $2 a serving. It did pretty well. And so we wanted to funnel people interested in our meal planning content into our email list and direct them towards that product.
Okay. I think that's an interesting hook right there that we might want to not forget about. That $2 per serving is pretty compelling.
Mhm.
Okay. So you know that the audience cares about this because they reacted well to a product that you offered. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you planning on putting this site wide? Is this
Yes.
wholefoodie.com that we're doing this on?
Yeah.
All right. Is there a seasonality component to this, do you think?
No, this one's year round.
This will be year round? Okay, great. So why aren't you leaning into seasonality? Just curious.
We already have other quick
Got
start
it.
guides
Got it.
that have seasonality to them.
Okay. You hear that, everybody? She's got other quick start guides. Like I said, Julie and I, we go way back. So we've done a few of these together. All right. So
Yes.
hi, Matt. Welcome to day one of Big Flavor, Small Budget Meal Planning. If your grocery bill has you doing anxiety math in the checkout line lately, big same. Food prices are high. I've had to do some serious slashing to stretch my grocery budget all month while still feeding my family healthy nourishing. It's been a real struggle. Okay. Um, I love a few things about this are just kind of fun. So anxiety math, that's fun. Big same. I think you're talking the way people talk. I would probably anytime this is, by the way, Julie, you know that what you have here will work great. You've done this before, you know the drill. What I'm going to do right now is nitpick just for the sake of illustration purposes. Okay, so
Yeah.
anything that I say, just take it with a grain of salt at this point. If your grocery bill has you doing anxiety math, I would probably do something along the lines of italics or quotes, something that calls, because this is a formatting thing that makes them go, oh, anxiety math. I know what that's like. But if you just leave that in the normal flow of skimming, it's harder to read. Um,
Okay.
big same. Food prices are high. I even like doing this. Another thing that you'll notice, everybody, is I am a big fan of, because of skimmability, of shorter sentences, shorter paragraphs, a lot of white space. Even though my seventh grade English teacher, Mrs. Meek, she would have my head if she knew how I write emails now. But that's how I do it. I've had to do some serious slashing to stretch my, it's been a real struggle. I think that you paint this picture very well. again, just nitpicking, I think you could be done here. You know what I mean? It's like, we get it. Um, what I want to see here is some sort of subheader.
Okay.
How I, or you even say it in the next line, top 5 ways I slashed my grocery budget, right? Something like this. And then I'm not going to get these words right. You all are going to, forgive me for just coming up with something off the top of my head. But 5 ways I slashed my grocery budget. Now pause for a second, everybody. Read this email. How would you read this? You'd go, hey, Matt, welcome to Skim. Oh, I see that. Yeah, I signed up for that thing. And then you probably go blah, 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 jump down to here. And then you go, oh, what are they? And then you'd read these bold things, right? So that's the power of skimming and subheaders. I might also here, Julie, I might say, because this is the first one in the series, I might want to be doing a setup here for the rest of the series. Things that help cook on a budget. Favorite cheap dinners. Okay. I might want to do something along the lines of, over the next 5 days, I'll, in your case, share my favorite tips for getting meals planned fast and as inexpensively as possible without feeding my family cardboard. Right? Something like that. All we're saying is that this is the theme of the whole thing. And then the gist of it is, let's start here. The idea is, I'm going to start with the foundational pieces of how I got going, right? Now these links lean into the seasons. When it comes to produce, seasonality is queen. Embrace pantry staples, reduce food waste, cook once, eat more, go meatless. You see what I'm even doing? And I'm supposed to be reading it. I don't even want to read it. I don't want to read this. I'm being a jerk now. Because I'm lazy and I just really wanted to get to Herman's. That's really what I want in life. They don't want to read it either. So
Okay.
what are you really saying? We make it our goal to use every last bit of an ingredient. Bones and veggies get saved for Scott. We use leftovers get used in another recipe that same week before the. See, I have to think right now. My brain is working, trying to understand what you're saying here. Not because it's poor writing, but simply because I have to understand the main concept. If the main thing that you're saying is if that's it, then I might want to go click that,
Okay.
right? And I think this is true for everybody and everything that you're writing. A little bit more mystery gets them to click. They're going to tell them what they're going to learn without telling them everything, giving them too much. Cook once, eat more. This can be how we save time doing batch cooking and money on ingredients too. Meat's expensive. Here's what we do once or twice a week to save money on blah, blah, blah. I'm not getting that right, but you get the idea. Okay. Any questions on that?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. That was a close call. My top 5 budgeting cooking tips. I see, and this is good too. We're going to talk about subject lines here in a minute. No, we're going to talk about it now. Julie, I happen to know personally. She works very, very hard. She has a sick child at home, my friends. Let's let Julie have a break. We are going to do some work for Julie. Julie, you've earned this, all right? We are all going to write subject lines for this email for you, okay? I can't wait to see what Erin comes up with. Nicole is going to rock this, all right? No idea what's going to come out of Jen right now, but it's going to be something. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to not look at anything that you all are doing, and remembering curiosity plus self-interest, we're going to practice our subject line work here. And I'm going to write right here. You can see me, but you don't look at mine, and I won't look at yours until the time's up. We'll do it for about 90 seconds. Does that sound good? I need fingers on keyboards, people. All right. You see what Julie's trying to accomplish with this. Let's write some subject lines for her. All right. Let's see if you can stump the chump. That's me. Here we go. Um, all right, I'm going to stop right there. How'd you do? Okay, some of you played along. Come on, where are they? Ashley, 5 secrets to slash your grocery budget. Still eat deliciously. Good. Best tips for great meals on a budget. Awesome. Inflation hurting your wallet. 5 ways to save on groceries. Nice. 5 secrets to spending less. Save money and time. Eat well. Good. The tips you need to save on groceries now. Tired of anxiety at the grocery store. Steal my top 5. Good. Nice work, team. All right.
Thank you.
So, Julie, yeah, free work here today. And the idea, a couple of things that I just want to point out. Um, you know what? I was going to lean into that $2 per person. I forgot about that, Elena. I like that. Feed your family with $2 per person. That numbers really are, really work well.
I just think it's really catchy. Like that's the out of all the things that she shared, I was like, wait, how would I do that?
Yeah.
And then she teaches you how to solve that problem. To me, I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Like, that would be click worthy
Yeah.
for me personally, because that just seems impossible
Yep.
to me.
Yes.
Does it matter if that's not a thing I specifically focus on until day 5 to have that as
Um,
the opening?
you know what I might do if that turns out that that's the hook, and I think you're hearing from more than one person that it is, I might change up your order. So this goes for everybody with your quick start guides. Lead with the most compelling stuff. Remember, Martha doesn't know you, doesn't care about you. You get one shot here. So it's like putting on your best pair of jeans on the first date where you're trying to impress. So whatever the first thing that you're sending across, even
So
if it feels like
dollars
it's
per
out of
person is
order.
our product. Um, so I didn't want to jump right into sales necessarily, right?
Well, you don't have to sell it. You could still talk about what you did and maybe give part of it away for free,
Mm-hmm.
to get them, get them salivating a little bit for more.
Okay.
Because when they start to trust you that, yeah, I've got the $2 system. And then you could even weave that through all the rest of these. You could have probably some $2 element. If that ends up being the whole thing and it's going to be the thing you're going to sell at the end, you might want to do that anyway. You could be weaving that $2 thing all the way through. Top 5 ways I slashed my grocery budget. I got it down to $2 a serving. Da, 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 da. The biggest thing that helped me cook on a budget were these $2 meals. You know what I mean? I just keep bringing it back over and over and over. And I'm sure that you can find ways to weave that in if that is the strongest hook.
Okay.
Great stuff, Julie. And great stuff, team. Good work. All right. Any questions before we leave you, Julie?
No?
Awesome. Thank you for being my guinea pig today. Let's dive into Herman actually used the fill in the blank template from the email autopilot course. Nice job, Herman. Okay. 5 days of best air fry recipes. Why did you choose air fryer recipes, Herman?
I actually have a lot of air fryer recipes, and those are the ones that perform really well on my blog.
Okay. So you use your blog exclusively about air fryer?
No, but
Okay.
like those are the best performing ones.
Okay. So we're getting a lot of traffic to air fryer recipes. It's probably in a WordPress category where you could, if you want to, limit your forms and pop-ups to just be on the WordPress stuff, or excuse me, the air fryer stuff if you wanted. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So 5 days of best. We all love crispy and flavorful foods, but the greasy splatter, smoky kitchen is cleaning up is no fun. Air fryer, as busy people, we don't have hours. That's why I put together best. Good. I have the best. Okay. Herman has learned something that these secrets, if you're going to use the term secrets here, they don't have to actually be like CIA level secrets. It's not like what happened at Roswell or anything like that. We guess what? The secret is you should be making more with your air fryer. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Or did you know that you can make dessert with your air fryer or whatever that secret is? I figured out the best air fryer recipes just taste good methods. Pulled everything together in this article. Okay, so what are you going to link to?
Oh, I'll link to one of my recipes. It's a honey butter chicken. But yeah, I didn't put that in here.
My suggestion, how many air fryer recipes do you have?
I have maybe like 30 so far.
Okay. Give
Did you
them
have that?
more.
I don't have to cut out, but I have about 30, yeah.
Yeah, give them more. So I have just found through lots of trial and error that Roundups outperforms single recipes, especially in the recipe world. You're solving one problem with this email. The problem that you're solving are my go-to, the air fryer recipes I make most often, or whatever however you're going to spin that. And so the problem that you're solving might be speed, it might be desserts, it might be breakfasts. The variety, we have different taste buds, different, likes and dislikes, different dietary needs. So you might love the whatever chicken you just mentioned. I might like the nuggets. Somebody else might like, right? People have different things, but you can solve it by just inspiring them with a few other recipes, and you'll get more clicks. And by getting more clicks, you'll make more money.
Got it. Okay.
My other suggestion here is you can probably, you can probably cut down some of this stuff a little bit. If I have an air fryer, I don't know if I need to be sold on it like you're selling me here. But I think sometimes with one of these what to cook quick start guides, they really just want the recipes. So just give them guidance on what to make. Now, instead of saying, and I'm not saying that you're doing this, but in absence of just filling with words, because you feel like there needs to be stuff written in there, come up with social proof. Share the social proof. So if you pick this chicken recipe, don't just take my word for it. This is our most popular air fryer recipe on our blog. Or this has been pinned over 85,000 times. Or this is a 4.92 out of 5 stars with 64 reviews. That's very specific. That's saying something. That type of social proof, this goes for everybody. This is my fastest sewing tutorial. This is my personal favorite. That is also social proof. I have one client that she always focuses on her picky eating son. And those tend to do well. My picky eating son loves this. That's social proof. I often get asked, and Herman didn't ask this, but I'll just use yours as an example. I often get asked, how do you close something like this out? It's not hard. On day 5 or whatever, how many days you do. I hope you enjoyed insert title here. Do me a favor, hit reply. What was your favorite? Yada, yada, yada. I love reading your emails. Soon enough, I'll be back in your inbox with more fantastic tutorials on how to such and such. That's it. I'll be back soon with more. Well, you don't need to say every 3rd Tuesday, I'm going to be back with the what I'm making. You don't need to be specific. You're just letting them know that they're on the list. Herman, do you feel like you've got a direction?
Yes, that's helpful.
Okay. In your world, I might be thinking I don't know where you were going to go with this, but I might be thinking in terms of the different problems that you could solve with air fryer, like eggs for breakfast or getting dinner on the table quickly, or healthy protein sources with air fryer. There's lots of different things that we can do with the air fryer and leaning into that.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll think of more specific problems to solve.
Okay, awesome. All right. Who's got the little black skillet?
That's me.
Ashley. I love the name. That's
Thank you.
awesome. I've tried to wear a little black skillet and I just don't fit. It just doesn't look good on me. All right. So why did you choose? What are we doing here? Cozy shortcut recipes to make this fall. Why did you choose that?
So I based it off of my top 10. The ones I have listed there, they kind of fall into 3 different buckets.
Okay.
Either shortcut, comfort food, or Southern.
Yeah.
So I kind of combined all of those into this idea.
Okay.
Playing into seasonality because that's what you told me yesterday to do.
What a good student you are. Gold star. Okay. What am I going to tell you? If you've heard me talk to the other two, what am I going to tell you already?
Less words.
Yeah.
Get
I mean,
to
it's
the
not
point.
like you're crazy wordy here. This is just me, but I just some formatting things,
Okay.
you know. Uh,
Add some spaces.
yeah, I want a subheader in here. Um,
What about pictures? So my background, like I started as a food stylist slash food photographer. So that's like my shtick.
that's
So
where the little
I
black
am,
skillet comes from, the stylish
that's
thing. Okay. Um, yeah, I tend to do, the short answer is you actually will get more clicks if you don't use images.
really,
But with my quick start guides, with my food clients, because of what you just described, I, and knowing that this is Martha's first real experience with me, I usually do put pictures in.
okay.
It isn't this is something that you should test. It's
Okay.
not, it's not, it's not like you have to do that, but we're just leaning towards the branding element of that, especially when photography is a big part of the work that you're doing.
hmm
Now, that's not necessarily the case for everybody. So, for example, with the Disney cruise stuff, there were no pictures. It
Okay.
was just like, click here to such and such. If you think that the reason that people don't click as much after they see the picture is because they think they know everything now.
Okay.
So, for example, when Sherry puts a craft in there and they look at the picture of that craft and they go, I don't want to make that craft. That doesn't look like my style. Now, in Sherry's case, she may want to do that just to save them the trouble of clicking through and getting irritated because they go to something that isn't their style. But with food, quite often the image can be not misleading. It's just we just picked one particular image, and if they got onto the post, they'd see all the other stuff. We have a different shot at it.
Okay.
So you have to decide. I really feel, Ashley, like you're saying something important here.
Yeah, but you glaze over it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And so normally this dish takes hours and a whole lot of effort, but my shortcut version uses two game. If you just said that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they'll go to the recipe and
Because
they'll
they're going to
figure
see,
it out.
yeah. And they might be looking, if you pay it off, right? If it actually talks about this on the recipe itself, which I hope you
Okay.
do, then you don't even need all of this.
Okay.
You're more likely to get the result that you want. And you keep it going. You got 2 paragraphs to say that. You see what I mean? It's
Mhm.
just, that's how we do in blogging, but with email, it's just we don't have to. The other thing that I would suggest is what I suggested to Herman, is I would turn this into this guide. Instead of 5 cozy shortcut recipes, I have 5 days of cozy shortcut recipes.
Okay.
Day 1 is my most popular fall recipes. Day 2 are my go-to. Day 3 are my fastest. Day 4 are the ones that'll make you sick. Day 5 are Day 5 are Southern classics. Whatever you're going to say. Then you're able to introduce more recipes and get more clicks.
So that's all that you just said would be in this first email. And then I'd say, here's the first one.
I don't remember what I just said, but the gist of it is
Well, you just spelled it out. Like day 1 is
day
this,
1
day
would be
2 is
most
that.
popular. Yeah. And then you'd have 5 of your most popular. Day 2 would be my most Southern. And then you'd have your 5 most Southern. Day 3 would be the ones I make every single week. And then there's another 5.
Oh, I see. So instead of doing 5 recipes, you do more recipes
That's
per
right.
day.
Every day is a roundup.
Got it.
Yeah. You'll get a lot more clicks. There's a greater chance, because Martha may go, I already have a Southern chicken and dumplings, or she may even not even get down to your shortcut mention, and she's already tuned it out, thinking that's way too big of a deal for me. I can't spend time on that. All right. Again, a subheader in here would be nice, because that might be just the reiterating of my most popular Southern recipes of all time. That might be your subheader. And so they're like, okay, cool. All right. Any questions?
I don't think so.
All right. You feel like you got a direction?
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at the time here real quick. We got Jen's dropped one in here. The request access from you, Jen. And did I get Sherry's? Did I get yours? I see it in there. Nope. Well, I'm going to pull it up anyway. There we go. All right. Look, if we run out of time, I'm going to stick around. So I will do everybody's that wants me to do them if you can hang. For those of you who already know, you're like, I've seen this show. You're ready to go. Your homework assignment is go launch this sucker. Yeah, I know that feels like a lot, but you've got to figure out now that what your tech platform, what it takes to put it into a sequence. Create the little form that you put on your website or the pop-up. For those of you who are using Kit, let me help you. In the Email and Autopilot course, there's a how to set up a sequence. And then there is the code that I use for a pop-up. It tells you which form to select and you can use my custom code. The reason you're going to want to do that is because their pop-ups kind of stink out of the box. And so I actually used to not recommend them at all until I discovered some CSS code that allowed me to make it look good and be different on desktop and mobile. You see, we'll talk more about this tomorrow when we get into pop-ups, but you don't want the mobile experience to be the same as the desktop experience. On desktop, you can have an image, it can be larger. On mobile, it needs to be more, it needs to be tighter, more concise. You don't want to show an image and take up that space. My code will allow you to do that. All right. So that's in the email and autopilot course. Just go find in the quick start guide. You might have to do a little search in the table of contents. I don't remember which one it is, but how to make a pop-up, a modal in Kit. Okay. I hope that helps. If you are on the fence about your platform, here's my last shill for Kit. What I just described is exactly why you might want to switch. And there's other reasons too, which we'll discuss later, but this will get you going. You could get going today because it tells you step by step exactly how to do it. By the way, if you decide you want to go that route, I will help you move your stuff from your previous platform. Okay. All right. Who was next here? I think this one was. Who's this? Speckled Palette?
That's me.
Hey, you. Okay, Aaron. All right.
Scrolling down to the second page. I feel like in listening to you talk to everybody, I'm like, maybe I need to do something different here.
Oh,
But
you mean as far as the theme?
no, not the theme, just like how I've formatted this. I don't know. I'm still tinkering with it, but I want to hear what you think.
Okay.
So
What are you concerned about? Let's start there.
So just I feel like so we talked about this yesterday about like the chicken nuggets, the homemade chicken nuggets is my number one post right now. And that's not like my typical crowd, but I'm going to try to serve them with a sequence about dinner and getting dinner on the table like quickly that is also good, right? So I don't know, but I feel like maybe my messaging is muddled. But I also don't really want to talk about like this is food for picky eaters because I don't know how to deal with picky eaters. That's not my thing. So I was more like, how can I serve them with faster recipes? So I chose a bunch of recipes that were all 45 minutes and less.
Okay.
And at least for me, like I can't get takeout in less than an hour here. So it was like, okay, so maybe it's faster than takeout for some people. But with that, I guess, yeah. So I've chosen some things, and reworked this first email and then was like, but I don't have a link in it now if I don't link to the hamburgers, but maybe we can rethink that. So let me know what you think.
Okay. Let me just comment on what you just said with it. I haven't even read it, but a few things that I
Okay.
really liked that you pointed out.
Okay.
It's kind of like the case of the $2 things for Julie. All right. When you said 45 minutes or less, you said you're basically telling the world, I'm going to give you the ones that you can get done in 45 minutes. All right. Let's be reasonable about school nights, families. All right. We don't have a lot of time,
Yes.
but you want to have a reason, you want to have a good dinner, 45 minutes or less. That's what I'm going to teach you.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if that's the main hook to lean into, but when you were talking, I was like, that's telling me something specific. That's solving a very specific problem, and it's the time.
Okay.
I trust that you wouldn't put garbage out here, so your recipes are probably pretty good.
No.
So,
I hope.
but I'm not going to know that till I go try them. So the problem that you truly solve for me might simply be speed.
Okay.
And so then if you lean all your messaging into that, you could have soups that are 45 minutes. You could have pastas that are 45 minutes or less. You could have burgers and sliders and sandwiches that are 45 minutes or less,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then
Yes.
now you've got this theme that is very specific. It's anti-takeout. It's family around the table, but it's sanity saving in 45 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we talked about this yesterday. I've thought a little bit more about it I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was you, but we were making a joke about 15 minutes. Like
Yes.
I think if you actually pick an off number, like, you
Mhm.
know, that is like 38 and a half minutes or less, I think that gets attention. I
Yeah.
do. But anyway, um, so let's, okay. I do like the, as you know, the welcome to day one of such and such. It's not a must do, but I like I like the brand name of, or excuse me, the title of the Quick Start Guide to be up front, up top, because they just signed up for this pop-up. That's all they really know about you. And so it's like, let's just bring that back. Oh yeah, I signed up for that. It also tells them that if they're in day 3 or day 5 or day 1, that it does end. It tells them where they are in the series. It makes them go, oh, did I miss day 2? I want to go back and look for it. That sort of thing. So that's the reason I like that. I also like this a lot. Hi, hello, I'm a mom of 2 so I mean that's about as much of an intro as you need. You don't even need to explain more than that. I think okay, she's like me. You could say this in shorter words, but I get it. What do we want? Yeah, you could say all of this just a little bit snappier, a little bit tighter. Um, And if you're going to go with tips, or if you're going to say, over the next 5 days, I'm going to share with you the recipes, the exact meals you can get on the table.
Hmm. I like that.
Um, so I see this a lot, and I'm not criticizing it because I think this is the natural inclination, is that when you're giving a guide, you feel like in the Quick Start Guide, you should be educating, we should be teaching. But really, quite often, the value that you're bringing is the actual links and the inspiration. It doesn't have to be an education piece. Now, I'm not saying that, but this quite often, I see this a lot.
Hmm.
Plan ahead, know what you're doing, choose the right cooking method, find store-bought solutions. I think a lot of people will go, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a blah, blah, blah. Just tell me what it is. You know what I mean? Does
Yeah.
that's a me thing that's not necessarily accurate, but that's how I
No, but
feel.
I get that. And I added that in because I was like, maybe I should summarize that. But like what I've done with the recipes, if you scroll down a little bit, like I'm giving people like the exact shortcuts that I like for those specific recipes.
Uh-huh.
So, and like, I don't even know if it needs to be said, but it's one thing that like, since I feel like fast dinners are not necessarily what my site is about, but I do have them because I have a family and have to feed my kids, you know? It's something that like, is it worth saying the shortcuts here in the emails or, you
Are
know?
the shortcuts on the website?
Uh, yes, but probably not as succinctly as they are here. Or I could
Um,
probably do them more succinctly here.
I might, it's like, can you get each one of these down to 5 words or less?
I can
Like it's like
try.
it's like literally um, shortcuts. Pair these with freezer fries, bake when frozen.
Hmm.
Um, serve with a bagged store-bought salad kit. If you feel that that is a real shortcut and really provides value,
Yeah.
remember people aren't reading this stuff.
No,
So if
yeah.
if they're not actually going to read it, then it's a point. But what's the point? But if you want to say it, then say it as succinctly as possible and get them to the website where they will learn it.
Okay.
And then I'm still with, like I am with the other folks that have food. I would probably put more recipes in here. All right.
Okay.
I think you kind of have this challenge with all of these. By the way, Aaron,
Yes.
launch if you hit analysis paralysis, if anything that we've said makes you go, now what? I just want you to launch with this. Because
Okay.
my guess is that this is better than whatever else you've had. This will
Oh,
work. It's just all I'm doing is nitpicking to justify my existence on this call. That is it. All right. So
okay.
you don't overthink this. Just we can iterate, we can improve later. It's more, and this is my rah-rah to all y'all. It's more important that you get it out. We can fix. All right. I will help you fix it, improve it. But most of you just have the launch problem, not the it's not perfect problem. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go get them, Aaron.
Thank you.
Make ahead Thanksgiving. Who's this?
That's me.
Okay, you stuck around. Thanks, Jennifer. So what am I going to tell you?
It's too long. I can cut stuff from the emails.
Okay. Are you just saying that
Um,
because you think I'm going to say that? Or is that
no,
really what you're
shorter
feeling?
bullet points, more skimmable.
Might sound crazy, but Thanksgiving doesn't have to be so stressful. This year, let your have it before you do it. Now, is Instant Pot all the way through this thing?
Yeah, my whole site's pressure cooking Instant Pot
Oh,
recipes.
okay. All right, good. That makes sense then. I don't have any issues with this at all, as it
Sweet.
is. My only thing is give me 3 recipes here.
Give you what?
Give me 3 recipes.
Uh, okay, do you want, because it was going to be one recipe per day for 5 days. I don't have like here's 5 stuffing recipes and here's 6 turkey recipes. I is it better to be, I wanted to be specific, like you're going to make this turkey and you're going to use the juices from the turkey tomorrow in your gravy. And you're going to use your gravy and then we're going to do mashed potatoes and
How many
uh,
Instant Pot recipes do you have on your website?
hundreds,
Okay.
but
So how
not,
many arguably Thanksgiving recipes could we have?
30 to 40 probably.
Okay.
But since they're make ahead, I don't have 30 to 40 make ahead recipes.
Okay.
I have, I don't know, maybe 10 make ahead recipes, but it's all at the bottom in this time. Like the last email, I was like, as my gift to you, here's our timing guide. It tells you when to, 2 days before, make the grape that, kind of breaks it down like that. Oh, you passed it. If you open up the little, I've got it set up as headings. Sorry, I
Oh,
just left
there's
all
a
my
timing
draft
guide.
stuff on.
I see. Yeah.
If those like little 3 lines on the side, on the left, kind of under the little, yeah, then it's got all the emails right there.
Okay. Cool. Why make ahead?
Oh, because it makes Thanksgiving Day so much less stressful. Like so much less stressful when all you have to do is like finish off your stuffing because you've already put it together and you
Yep.
just have to warm it and serve it instead of like trying to cook it all at the same time.
So that's the solution.
Uh-huh.
What is the problem that you're solving?
Uh, Being frazzled and burning food.
Okay. So, and stress at Thanksgiving is caused by,
Too
well,
many things at once.
Uncle Phil's political views, for
Yeah.
one. But
I can't help with that.
you can't help with that. But too many things at once. So that could be oven space.
Mhm.
That could be you don't have time. You forgot something last minute. It could be I just want to have follow a plan and work ahead.
Mhm.
I guess what I'm getting at is I don't think that make ahead is the only way that you're solving the problem. The Instant Pot solves all of those things.
Uh-huh.
It's great for last minute. It's great for you don't have to take up oven space. It's
Okay.
great for you can make it and take it in the Instant Pot itself. You can transport it with it. There's all these different things that you could be doing. And if you have hundreds of recipes, now you'll be serving. Look, I don't want to tell you to not do this
Mm-hmm.
because this would obviously be super helpful. And the fact that you've gone to this trouble to write this, I think, is you now have this asset that you could use and you could try and you could share in lots of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I also tend to believe that if you said Instant Pot saves Thanksgiving, here's how,
Okay.
then you're like, make ahead, make all of these ahead with your Instant Pot. Save oven space, make these on the day of and save oven space and make these things. Make these desserts. Yes, you can make desserts in the Instant Pot. Make, what was I saying? Whatever the other problems were ways that it solves problems. You see what I'm saying? Because I think you
Uh-huh.
can get more recipes in front of them, which ultimately I think you're gonna like.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like. You think you're gonna go. I appreciate those extra clicks.
Okay.
Because what happens
So,
here too is I'm gonna beat this horse dead. This is the most common thing that everybody is already taken care of at Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Your cousin Keith is frying a turkey this year, so you don't have to worry about it. Or you're going to Aunt Mildred. She always does it, and she does the stuffing.
So do I need to just write it better? Because I addressed that in that 1 and 2 that's right above that link. Like I talk about why you want to make the Instant Pot turkey.
But if I'm going over to somebody's house and turkey's already being served, that wasn't
Oh,
my assignment.
yeah. Sorry. Maybe my audience is mostly empty nesters. They're mostly like,
Okay.
I have some busy moms, but by far the most like vocal part of my readers are the ones who are hosting Thanksgiving.
Okay. I get that, and I
Okay.
understand that. You need to make that call on whether that I get the only point that I'm making is Thanksgiving is one of those things where we all participate, most of us participate.
Okay.
But some people, sometimes you're hosting and sometimes you're bringing the
Okay.
pumpkin pie from
Okay.
Costco, if you're me. So I guess what I'm getting at is that with the Instant Pot, you can serve all of them.
Okay.
You have something for everyone. In this first email, and I first look at this, and like, I think that there's a big chance that a huge number of people are like, yeah, I'm not making the. I either don't make the turkey breast with. You can't convince me with Thanksgiving to make the turkey breast in the Instant Pot, even if I'm up for it. There'll be some, but I think it's a small number of people that where they have that specific of a problem.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You could still have this as number one recipe in the number one email, but if you had email number, you had the cranberry sauce and the mashed potatoes and the such and such, all the make ahead stuff all in one, then there's a better chance that Sally finds it and she goes, "Oh, well, Keith is taking care of the turkey, but I'm supposed to do the stuffing, and this is a great way to do the stuffing."
Okay. Okay.
Um, there was a question in here. What was it? What's too soon to start a Thanksgiving quick start guide? It's the same with Christmas. You're going to know that better for your audience, Nicole. That's a good question. I'm doing it November 1st. November 1st. And then I've even got some broadcast emails that we'll send once in a while at the very end of October, and we call it the "It's Not Too Early" planning, for some Thanksgiving stuff. It's just people have put so much weight into that with food, with the Thanksgiving. It's the best performing one we have all year long, even better than Christmas typically. Christmas is for me, it's Thanksgiving Day. It's mid-afternoon, we switch them. Literally on Thanksgiving Day, my team is switching pop-ups from Thanksgiving to Christmas. All right. Oh boy. Sorry, guys. Jen, did you get enough here? Did I
Yeah,
answer?
I think so. And it doesn't have to be on mine. It can be on somebody, but like that ending, how do you end the series? Like
Yeah.
I looked through your
Yeah, we might do something like
so it doesn't need to be its own email. It just like the last recipe I send or the
yeah,
last roundup I send, you can just have like a little like addendum at the end to say it's over.
something like that.
Okay.
Don't repeat yourself like I did here. Okay. Good question. All right, let's look at this real quick. Whole lot of yum. Who's this? She's still with us? Mauer. Okay, Jen. All right, you've heard me give this spiel to everybody. I think you've even heard this before, haven't you, Jen? This isn't the first time, is it?
This is my first time
Okay.
working with you. Yes. Yeah, I did get a lot of valuable information from the other ones that you were walking through, and I would already make some changes here for sure. I had a tough time with this because it was a balance of trying to give some helpful tips and advice with getting people to also click through links.
Why did you pick this theme?
Because it's one of my main site topics and it's most popular with my readers,
Okay.
to be honest.
And so you're a low carb website?
Sort of. Yeah. A huge chunk of it is, yes.
Okay. My experience in having done low carb many times,
Yeah.
off and
Yeah.
on, is I just need you to tell me what to make.
Right.
Usually, if I'm on that website, I'm already convinced that you don't need to educate me as hard on why proteins. Now, you can still,
Okay.
I'm not saying get rid of this.
Yeah.
I'm just suggesting that I, as your reader, you're selling me what I've already bought. And
Okay.
what I
Well,
really want is this. This right here. This. Look at that. I haven't even read the rest of this, but this I went to immediately, and I'm gonna go try this green chili chicken casserole. That you gave me proof, you gave me
right.
simplicity, and you did it in 6 words. And I want to click that, and I want to make that. So my advice is lean into that.
Okay. So what would you recommend for a quick start guide?
High protein, low carb secrets. Secret number 1 are don't spend so much time cooking. Let's start with
Mhm.
my 5 easiest high protein meals. Green chili
Okay.
casserole has 5 ingredients, over 500,000 reshares. My roasted rainbow, why did I say that? Oh, that's below. Roasted chicken breasts. I bake these every Sunday. Roasted veggies. You're going to pair this with a simple protein. Boom. You know,
Okay. So take out the advice is what you're saying.
or just, I mean, you don't have to take it out. I mean, it's part of who
Mhm.
you are and what you're doing. I'm just telling you that that's not why they're there. That's
I
my
don't
belief.
usually give a lot of advice. I was just trying to be more helpful. A lot of my readers are trying to lose weight,
Uh-huh.
whether it's this way or other ways. I have a huge email list that's super segmented. So it's like I'm trying to create all these different targeted opt-ins for sometimes it feels like different readers.
Yeah. No, I get that. Well, you'll know best if I'm right. Like if you think that if I'm off base, which I very well could be. But high protein, low carb secrets, what that really means is that you're going to give me recipes that allow me to live that life.
Okay.
I wouldn't, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, that's why I struggled with this. I actually rewrote it numerous times because I'm like, is it too heavy on advice? Should I be giving more recipes?
Let's pause on it for just a quick second. Let's zoom out.
Sure.
Let's say email number 1 was my easiest.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say email number 2 was my meal preppiest. And email number 3 was my copycats. And
Yeah.
email number 4 was my highest fiber. And email number 5 was my treats.
Right.
Does that change how you
Okay.
think about it? Because then all you're doing is delivering treats, and all you're doing is delivering fiber. And then
Right.
you're delivering copycat recipes. You don't need to sell them on why copycat recipes.
Right.
Just
Okay.
like everybody
Yeah,
loves McDonald's,
that all makes sense.
but Big Mac exists. So for food-based quick start guys, should they all be pretty much? Don't take this as gospel truth, but this is just what I do because I have found that roundups get you a lot more clicks than single recipes. Because you have to thread the needle pretty closely, both in terms of dietary need, preferences, and life situations. I'm not going to be the one making the turkey this year, therefore I'm ignoring you. Whereas if you have the turkey and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and the pumpkin pie all in the same, the email that says these are my go-to Instant Pot recipes, then I'm not threading that needle as closely. It's like, oh, there's a better chance that, oh, you're in charge of the dessert. Great. And in this case, with the protein, same deal. Anytime, by the way, if you have copycats, if you can, Jen, who are you copying? It's all, if it's Olive Garden or the Red Lobster or whoever.
Right, right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, those are kind of more general, other than like the Big Mac inspired recipes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Anyway, I don't want to slow you down, Jen, because what you've got, it
it's
will
okay.
work just
It's all
fine.
good.
All right. So, but you might be
I'm here
overthinking
to
it
learn.
just a little bit.
Sure.
If it
And what
was,
about the titles? I mean, I wasn't literally going to say day 1 secret, day 2 secret. That was just kind of more.
oh, I do that all the time.
That's okay.
Yeah, I might do day 1 secret. This is key to everything.
Okay.
Day 2 secret. What was this about? How I get more protein every day, or whatever.
Sure.
My most day 3 secret, my most popular, or day 3 secret, recipes that are better than the restaurant, or something like that.
Yeah, it's been challenging because I have a huge keto audience from like 2018, but then it's like people aren't using those terms as much, and people I think are trying to eat more balanced these days, but eating more protein. And it's sort of been a balance of what to do with this large old audience that
Yeah.
still reads emails versus new people coming in, and just balancing all that without trying to be overly diet term specific.
Yeah. Okay. So ultimately, that comes down to you have to experiment with different hooks to figure out what actually
Right.
will appeal to those people for sure.
Yeah. True.
And last thing, for you, I would think about seasonality too. Fall comfort food, holidays, all those are coming up. So
Yep.
you
Yeah,
can't
I
really
set
go
up
wrong there.
I just set up a weekly evergreen, well, a weekly seasonal sequence,
Okay.
and then also an evergreen, so
Gotcha.
that repeats.
All right. Well, whatever you do, don't blow it. Everything's writing on this. But good luck. Sherry left. She'd had enough. We'll come back and we'll look at Sherry's here in just a second. April wants to be our non-food participant today.
Always.
She's like, can we quit talking about recipes for a change?
No, it's fascinating to me.
All right. You heard me with all the other stuff.
Yes.
You guide this. What do you want me to do here?
They all follow a pretty similar format, so reviewing one is good. The one thing I think needs help are the subject lines that
Okay.
they each are like exactly what's in the email, which is
Okay.
not ideal, probably.
Not necessarily a deal killer, but I see what you mean. Welcome to day 1 of our fall favorites in Polk County. A lot of families wonder where to go for the full farm experience. Okay, I would suggest an overview paragraph here too. Like, fall's our favorite season in Polk County, and there's a lot of good reasons why. Over the next 5 days, I'm going to share with you the things you can do with your family to make the most of this wonderful season. Let's start here.
Okay.
Get the full farm experience. Yeah, just nitpicking a little bit here. I don't think you need this, that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's just in terms of cutting down words. These are the farms that deliver on big fall fun. I'm talking hay rides. I'd probably just start with this.
So one other question too, in a lot of these, I think all of these actually, I went in and included, because all of my links are to roundups of like, here's 10 or 15 places you could go.
Okay.
But the emails all include like 2 or 3, if you're overwhelmed by all the options kind of thing, here's the best, here's the
Right.
favorites, here's the
Right.
closest.
Yeah. Okay. So these Harvest Holler doesn't have a page dedicated to it. It's all part of this page here. Is that
It
right?
technically does, but it's the only one.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I mean, I can technically link to it, but
Well, if you have ones where you can link to those individually, then definitely you're going to want to do that.
Okay.
I like what you did here. I would probably The easiest because they're closest? Is that why? Or
Yes. Yeah. The others are an hour plus, which for us is I don't say a long way, but
I'm trying to think about what I would do here a little bit different. In my head, I'm just telling you what we're thinking out loud here.
okay.
What I don't love, it's better than nothing. What I don't love is the go to our list, our index, and figure it out. Which is kind of, here's my list of fall festivals. That's better than nothing. What I really like are our recommendations, like,
hmm
or how you use the index.
Okay.
And I haven't been to it, so I don't know. But
Right.
I really like our family can't miss every year. And you list it. And then they have to click on the link to learn more about it. Like if
So
you
I hear more specific, like here are two options and what each one of them features and why they're great. And if you've been there and you want something different, here's a list with more options.
let's say that you were giving a real quick radio spot on this. You might say, "Hey everybody, so yeah, around the area we have a lot of great fall festivals. The two best ones are the two best closest ones are this one and this one. My family goes to these every single year. You will not go wrong." Now, if you want to go a little further afield, check out the first five that are on this particular list. It's organized so that you'll, by distance from Polk County or whatever. Um, or search, or if you like hayride specifically, then check out the hayride section of it. I mean, I don't want it to be too wordy here, but I kind of want April's recommendation. I want you to, because what we could, like, just using the food analogy, what Jen could do is she could say, the email could be, "Hey, go, I have all these Thanksgiving recipes that are Instant Pot, go get them here." That's not as powerful as saying, "Dude, you've got to go see this and this, this." You just have to, you know. So
Right.
I guess I'm looking for more oomph from, and of the ones that are further away, we recommend you go to the Lakeland County Fair because it's fantastic, or whatever it may be.
Okay.
And then give them the link to all of them. I guess that's what I'm looking for more here, is
Mhm.
just a little bit more guidance.
Okay. Got it. That's
All
probably the
seven.
best advice for all of them,
Yeah. Okay.
which is also a content problem. Like my content probably needs to be a little more geared towards here's our favorites. So
Well,
anyway,
I mean, you could list the favorites here and then you go see the full list,
yeah.
or to learn, to get the directions and the details about each one, you can go get those here. That's another little trick I might do is if you have sometimes in your post, you know how you have anchors in the post,
Mhm.
do a little, what is it, a little hashtag kind of thing, where it takes you to the harvest hauler, it takes you to the ones with the hay rides or whatever. You might have different, it may link to the same post, but you might be linking to different places in that post. So it just takes them right to it,
Right.
if that helps. So they don't have to, if this, I haven't seen this post, but if it's this big long thing where I've got to go now, I've got to go find harvest hauler. That might be a way that you could, for an email, you go add in a few of those anchors and link people directly to it. It also puts more links into the email that they click on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that still comes down to what I want from you, is I want more April.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Uh, Sherry, I'm going to look at this real quick for Sherry. Many quilters may want to work with their scraps, but have no idea where to start, or worry that they won't be able to make patterns to cover the basics on how to make a scrap quilt post. This is a tough one for me because I don't know anything about crafting. my mom used to make quilts. She'd set them up in our living room. And as a little kid, they were kind of fun because they had these big frames, and then we'd go under, and I would drive my cars on the top of it and then bounce them like it was a trampoline. And she got really mad at me for that. And there was always a thimble. Thimbles are fascinating. I still don't know what the heck you use a thimble for, but they are interesting devices. So I'm not really sure. So Sherry, if you're listening to this, I kind of wonder if can you get more projects into this? The same way we're talking about with recipes. Can you get more examples of, by the way, everybody, did you see this? She's got saved this article here. So she's doing that. So this must be a category that Sherry has on scrap quilts. Oh, yeah, so it's right there. Okay. Well, I can't advise too much on that one because I don't quite understand the concept, but I guess what I was looking for here is the how-to and then go make these 3 quilts with this. So I think that's how you could, Sherry, you could lean into the main article. And then now that you've read that, go make these 3 recommended quilts. They're the fastest or the easiest or most popular or something. And then I want to keep linking. I got those general tips, and then I want to link them to specific tutorials. And maybe you just don't have enough of those tutorials, but that would be my suggestion. All right. Hope that helps. Good luck, everybody. Go get those emails finished and launch them out there into the world. It's going to break all the things. Disaster is about to strike email-wise, but we'll fix it. It'll be fine. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you. Bye.